Hello, everyone. My name is Vangelis. We're going to talk about the Humanity Protocol and SRS token roadmap from the perspective of looking at all the milestones that were achieved in 2022 and 2023 and adding some detail behind what happened and a little bit of behind the scenes look as to where we are today and how we got to where we are today. Let's start with the strategic partnership Q1, Q2 of 2022. 2020, Marcus was realizing that a lot of the startups in the Silicon Valley, in California, United States, did not get off the ground. They were not able to be successful. Many of them failed, even though they had the technology already built. So Marcus had this vision of being able to take the ideas that were in Silicon Valley and bring them over to Africa and have the people in Africa create these startups and be able to assist them in a way that they could be successful. He noticed that the federal government of Africa passed the Minimum Wage Act, 30,000 Naira, which was about $30 US per month, was the typical salary, typical wage. And at the time, there was a 40% of unemployment. Whenever you create something, it's usually an answer to a challenge, a problem, or an issue. Something has to be solved. And so Marcus was noticing that the services and goods exchanged in Africa were exposed to fraud. And in wanting to solve this issue of fraud, he created a platform called the Helping Network, registered 100,000 people. 40% of those people had graduated higher education, about 60% had some higher learning, and about 59,000 of those people started earning money using the platform. As a result, people started to be able to support their entire families. Even during COVID, payments were still being made. Hundreds of people moved into the middle class, making about $1,000 a month instead of the $30 we saw in the previous slides. People moved into their own apartment, purchased a used car, put the children in school. Now, if you look at the top of the slide, it says, how did the Prince become involved with Humanity Protocol? Well, the results of everything we just talked about were posted on social media. Those successes became widely known across Africa and parts of the world. That is what caught the attention of the Prince. The platform narrowed services and products down to 6 tasks: recruiting, coaching, bringing content for social media, sharing content for social media, verifying identity, and quality control. Now, that fraud we talked about in the previous slide, that was addressed by the blockchain. Why? Because the blockchain is like a digital ledger. Accountants used to use these paper book ledgers. Well, the blockchain is like a digital ledger that is immutable, cannot be changed, deleted, or manipulated. And it is both transparent and anonymous. Now, let's talk about how it can be both of those at the same time. Transparent because transactions are open for anyone to verify. You just go on the blockchain. But it is also anonymous. The transactions on the blockchain are only traceable to the original owner of the transaction. So what are the takeaways for what we've talked about so far? The benefit of Humanity Protocol is the ability to create jobs, obtain funding, visibility and awareness of results, improve quality of life, and help people gain self-respect, fulfillment, and skills. Let's go to the next milestone, identity verification. The people in Africa were anonymous. What does that mean? Well, the majority of the people do not have a bank account. What does that result in? Not verifiable. No place to deposit funds, inability to transfer funds, inability to get paid. So what did the blockchain be able to do? Well, the blockchain is a decentralized solution, universally available to anyone, anywhere, anytime. That means that funds are immediately available. Well, what does that mean? Well, in the centralized model, people hold your money. You've gone to the bank, deposit money, and they'll say, your money will be available in 5 days. What do you mean? Oh, well, we're actually using your money and investing it. Now, they don't tell you that, but that's what's happening. So in the decentralized model, No one is holding or investing your money for 5 days or for 5 minutes. No one has access to your funds except you. Media collaboration. Well, in order to get excited about what Web3 is doing for us, let's talk about Web 1 and 2. Web 1 was the World Wide Web, WWW. Back in 1989, Timothy Berners-Lee created a program, an application called the World Wide Web. Now, I started using this back in the early 80s, and all it was just a bunch of folders with documents. Didn't really make a lot of sense to me. So what Timothy did is he made it look like a mosaic, like a picture. Okay, so I can click here and I can do links, and now it made more sense. Now, at the time also, the way you accessed the internet was through modem dial-up over telephone lines. And it was a static scenario, no user interaction. You could get there, but there was nothing going on between you and the application. Web 2 changed that. Now you've got interaction, more dynamic, interoperable. What does that mean? Well, users could now create content, blogs, social media. You could put documents on the internet, onto your social media, and you could exchange it, interoperate between Facebook, Instagram, TikToks, Twitter, news feeds, stocks, in search engines. All that stuff allowed you because Web 2 provided additional capability. Web 3 then is a decentralized model. What does that mean? No one entity or person can control. You connect with a smart device, smartphone, PC, or tablet, capable to interact with artificial intelligence engines. And you could also divorce yourself from any market cycles because you weren't connected to it. Tokenization is another piece of this, but we'll delay that for another slide. Next, we're going to talk about platform features, enhancement of user social profiles. We mentioned earlier that the people in Africa were unbanked. They weren't known to the global economic world. Well, Humanity Protocol Platform uses a variety of methods to create a verifiable profile for each person to participate in the global economy of services and products. And what does that mean? Well, there are a variety of methods by which you can verify. Biometric verification is a security method using a person's unique physical characteristics to confirm their identity. Let's look at the next milestone. What segues into this is the biometric integration. Again, a security method using a person's unique physical characteristics to confirm their identity. There are a variety of identifications. 2FA, two-factor authentication. You can be using Authy or Google Authenticator. That's an application, but it does provide additional security. The physical characteristics part is the fingerprint, the facial recognition, and the iris scans. What this does is it replaces the traditional authentication method stuff like passwords and PINs. Now think about it. In order for anyone to get your information, they have to have your fingerprint, your face, your iris, and your phone. It's not just putting a password or a PIN in. So we have added levels of security. User verification. Well, let's put it all together here. Remember, the people in Africa were unbanked, unable to participate in the global economy. So what did Humanity Protocol do? We took advantage of the blockchain infrastructure, which allowed us to have that fraud prevention we talked about, created the user profile capability universally available to anyone, anywhere, at any time. Now, just to make sure, when if any of you travel from one country to another, you realize that just the monetary piece of it, you have to exchange money. So when you go to Costa Rica, you're working with colones. When you go to Europe, you're working with euros. I mean, you have to exchange money if you want to participate with the local merchants like that with cash. Well, this blockchain infrastructure allows you to have a universal monetary capability anywhere, anytime, with anyone. And the last one there, verifiable through various means. Token ecosystem. Returning to the Web3 discussion, we're talking about tokenization. So let's talk about what is a token. A token is a digital representation of an asset built on a blockchain. We've heard of cryptocurrencies, and most of those, like Bitcoin, are used as a medium of exchange, means of payment. People even accept Ethereum. It's a measure and store of value. Now, a token is associated to a particular blockchain network. Many of you who have MetaMask, you'll say, well, how come my assets aren't visible? Well, you have to go to the top and pull down the correct network. Oh, that's on this blockchain network. Yes, then the symbols, the assets show up. So that's what we mean. Tokens are associated to a particular blockchain network. And they also work with smart contracts. Well, what's a smart contract? It is a self-executing, what does that mean? No human intervention allowed. So it is a self-executing program that automates transactions, and it is there forever. A token has no intrinsic value. It's like a gift card. The gift card has no value in and of itself. It's just a piece of plastic. But when you load it with something, now it's got a representation of value. That is also a token. The value is the asset it represents. Now, back again, the Web3 discussion, tokenization. You can tokenize anything. What does that mean? Well, you can make a digital representation of certificates, titles, mortgages, passports, concert tickets, airline tickets, books, music courses. If you write a book, if you have a course that you develop, you can sell those with tokens. And people now, instead of having to go to a copyright office, this actually provides more surety that this is owned by you, and no one, again, it's immutable. No one can steal it, delete it, manipulate it, change it. Humanity Protocol, when Marcus was looking at what was happening in the world of crypto, he noticed that there are no applications that utilize the blockchain other than a wallet. So Humanity Protocol became the first use case of the blockchain in history. How? Well, let's for example, what is a use case? Well, the people in Africa are able to use the Humanity Protocol to exchange services and products. The utility is the Humanity Protocol application, the platform. The product, those are those NFT and SRS tokens. So that's up at the top of the slide, use case, utility, and product. That again was part of Marcus's vision for how the Humanity Protocol could utilize the capabilities of the blockchain for more than just performing transactions. User milestone. At this time, there were about 15,000 users registered on the platform, and a lot of events were being hosted to bring awareness to the world of what Humanity Protocol was doing. And then we came up to the token incentives, the introduction of liquidity mining. Now, there are so many ways to capitalize on the blockchain. This is another way, liquidity mining. Some terms here, swapping, trading or converting one coin for another. For example, let's say you've got Bitcoin and the person you want to do a transaction with says, well, I only accept Ethereum. No problem. You can go to a place called a swapping place and you can trade and convert your Bitcoin, BTC, to Ethereum. Now, you as a person utilizing liquidity mining or participating in liquidity mining, let's say you have both BTC and ETH. So you put both those into the liquidity mining pool. This makes a trading pair when someone wants to go between BTC and ETH. A fee is charged anytime someone performs that swap. You get paid a percentage of the swapping fee because you supplied the assets, BTC and ETH. So instead of this fee being paid to an exchange like Coinbase or Gemini, or any other swapping location, the person providing the BTC and ETH, in this case, you and I, in the liquidity pool, we get paid. Humanity Protocol has two tokens, SRS and Matic, and we provide our SRS and Matic tokens to the liquidity pool, receive payment when anyone performs a swap between those. Now we're in 2023. DApp, D-A-P-P, decentralized application. Traditional applications use a centralized model, which means those applications are run on separate servers. A DApp runs on multiple servers scattered all over the world, hence decentralized, in a peer-to-peer architecture, meaning no central authority. Accessible, there we are again, anyone, anywhere, anytime. This is the start of the Humanity Protocol ecosystem, right there. This is how we log into the Humanity Protocol network. We don't have to go to a website and log in with an email and password anymore. Why? Because our wallets, Web3, our wallets, we log in with our wallet, and that is because that particular wallet we use is decentralized application capable, DApp capable. We also became listed on the DEX, Decentralized Exchange, on May 5th, 2023. What does that give us? Worldwide recognition that results in visibility and tradability. Many people will say, well, there is a finite number of these assets, so it will grow in value. That's not the reason it grows in value. Value requires visibility, meaning people knowing about it and aware of what Humanity Protocol does for humanity. That's what gives it its tradability. See, a finite number of coins doesn't create value. You've heard of supply and demand. Well, supply is visibility. They got to know about it. And demand is, well, what is Humanity Protocol doing? What is the value you're providing for the world? Security audit. Because we are not in the centralized financial world, we are in the decentralized world. For people to feel comfortable with a sense of trust that we are for real, a security audit is very critical because it provides compliance. Our security audit performed by a company affiliated with Binance, and this is the key to addressing to compliance. It provides a sense of stability and assurance the company is real and trustworthy. Stablecoin integration. This is all about stability of value. The value, which is the price of coins, is volatile. It moves up and down. But everything is volatile. Housing market, anything that's out there is volatile. Stocks, bonds, cars, whatever you name it. So it's not just cryptocurrency. But what we did in the crypto world is we created what these things called stable coins. For example, USDC, USDT, and there's many others now. They were created to provide stability in a volatile market. For example, if you have a lot of Bitcoin, BTC, you can convert that, we talked about that earlier, you can convert that to USDT. So if the price of Bitcoin, remember it went from 20,000 to 60,000 and then back down to 20,000. If that price changes up or down, you are not affected. So let's say that Bitcoin was 40,000 and you converted your Bitcoin to USDT. Well, when the price went up to 60, your value was still 40, but when the price went down to 20, your value was still 40. So stable coins are used for holding coin value, trading, you can trade with those, and also for transactions. So SRS and Matic are associated, we can use the word anchored to USDT. As you're growing a company, there are times you have to pivot and shift. One of these times, we call it rebranding, was necessary because we wanted to take advantage of some additional capabilities. And sometimes you can't shift until a certain milestone has been achieved. It could be value, it could be a number of things. And you see up there top right, you can see the website for the Red Matter Capital. Well, Red Matter Capital provides Humanity Protocol a couple of things. Truly Web3 capability, and you can see it's powered by AI. And then also, you can log in with your wallet. Remember, you don't have to use passwords and pins and emails and all that stuff. Wallet integration. Okay. The wallet is your contact, your interface to the blockchain. Your money, your assets are not on your phone. They're not on your PC. It's just like the assets aren't on your card. They're at the location, the blockchain that we're talking about here. Now, there are several wallets. Most of you have heard of MetaMask and Trust. And so in the terms of MetaMask, when you want to add a coin, you get the contract address. You go to the blockchain, get the contract address, and you put it in the wallet. Well, Trust is a little bit different. The Trust wallet, when you perform updates, they add new coins in there, but you have to go to the settings, search for your coin, like for example here, SRS, and activate it. So then when you look at your list of assets, the SRS shows up. Well, now it's in the Trust wallet, native. Ambassador program. Every company that is a startup, they want to solicit funds because they need to have money to perform all the different activities of a startup. Those are investment funds. And when people want to help these companies by putting their money in there, the amount of money that you invest in this company determines your ownership. They call that a share of the company. Provides you voting rights, and in many cases, you earn percentage of the profits based on your ownership. Humanium Protocol created an ambassador program, which allows you to spread the wealth, profits, and voting rights control. You have some say-so in what's going on in the company. One of the things that this does is it prevents, we call them whales, large investors. It also prevents this from becoming a centralized controlling entity where a large group of people, we might call them insiders, are the ones that keep everything behind the curtain, so to speak. We created a community of people. Now, there's a couple of things that community does. The community is our advertisement. The community creates visibility. It tells the world what's going on, which means it creates awareness to what we're doing, which does what? Raises your value. Now it has tradability. There's worth to it. Sure, we could have raised the money. A couple of people could have put in all their money, but Humanium Protocol wanted to spread the wealth. That, the last line there, is a huge differentiator. And that, my friends, is the Humanium Protocol and SRS token roadmap. Those are the milestones that we have achieved from the inception up to the end of 2023. Thank you so much for your attention.